over 75% of the communities in our country have only volunteer firefighters. In 2005, there were more than 1,600,000 fires in the U.S. Of these, more than 390,000 were on residential properties. Also, in the year 2005, there were approximately 1,136,000 firefighters in the United States. And out of that, 823,000 were volunteers. Now, as impressive as that is, 823,000 men and women committed to serving their communities as firefighters. In 1983, the United States had a total of over 884,000 volunteer firefighters. That's a decrease in volunteer firefighters of over 63,000. However, the real problem is that since 1983, there have been over 34 million new homes built in the United States. So as more and more homes and commercial structures are built, you'd expect that the services needed to protect those properties, our properties, would be increasing as well, but they're not. Our community fire companies find themselves with fewer and fewer volunteer members, and this is a serious issue for all of us.
At times we experience a shortage of manpower because the kids who are youths today can't stay here when they get out of college. I'm sure other communities probably have an opposite problem where they can afford to live there. But you know, I see a problem with people just think that, well, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of this, it's dangerous. But with the training we have, we don't require all your time to be here. But I do see a shortage only because of, in our town, it's because of, you know, what it costs to stay here, and the kids are moving away because they can't afford to buy a home in our town.
Across the country, the need of volunteers to serve their communities has never been higher. This is especially true in the rural areas, where they have seen the most dramatic drop in volunteer firefighters. So why are there fewer volunteers today than there were 20 years ago? Well, fire service studies suggest various reasons for these changes, due to changes in our sociological conditions, such as the two-income family and single-parent families, changes in the workplace, including longer commutes and employer constraints, and changes in the urban and the rural populations. Now, additional factors include lack of funding sources and an absence of community support. But that doesn't change the fact that volunteers are needed more than ever. With new homes, housing developments, and commercial buildings being built every day, it's critical that individuals step forward to serve their community, their friends, and even their own family as a volunteer firefighter. So who volunteers to be a firefighter? Men and women who are retired and have extra time. Men and women who have full-time jobs and can only respond at nights or weekends. Men and women who are self-employed and have flexibility in the amount of time they can commit and the times in which they can respond. Young men and women who are students and want a chance to make a difference while they learn about firefighting.
All kinds of people. I mean, we have everybody from accountants to auto repair technicians, to lawyers, to people who work for the town, to police officers. Doesn't make a difference. You can be anybody and be a volunteer firefighter.
The reasons people become a volunteer firefighter vary. A desire to give something back to the community, the thrill and excitement of the work, the camaraderie with others, family tradition, and the feeling of responsibility for protecting one's family and property.
It's an adrenaline rush. Part of it is a huge adrenaline rush where, you know, at any moment you could be sitting at home or sitting here and the pager goes off and that call for some help, some resident in the community where, you know, they're in an accident or their house is on fire, or even that their basements are flooded and they have no idea what to do. And, you know, everybody always calls the fire department. I've always said that, you know, when something's wrong and they don't know how to fix it or don't know where to start, they call the firehouse, and that's where it comes from. And it's just it's a rush, you know. You get up here, you're getting geared up. You're putting your lives on the line for people that you don't even know, and you're dependent on 4 guys that are in the truck with you, and you just go do it. just get the job done, and you know, and you always get the thank you. And that's what probably makes it the best, is just a simple thank you from them. Their life, their house, or whatever is destroyed, but they'll say thank you no matter what.
Benjamin Franklin organized the nation's first volunteer fire company in 1736, and for over 270 years, everyday people have become everyday heroes. With personal courage, compassion for others in need, and an unselfish commitment to their families, their neighbors, and their community, volunteer firefighters make a difference every time they're called. Won't you make a difference too? Become a volunteer firefighter. It's important to all of us.